Hello, hello, hello everyone. How are we all doing this morning? It's been a little while since we did a live stream here. How are we all doing? You know what? I just realized I started this stream and I didn't get water. For the first time, no, didn't bring water. I always bring water to streams, but for some reason today I didn't bring water. Wow. Someone disliked my stream already. How dare they? I'm so upset. So offended that someone would censor little old me stream. Censor? Why did I say censor? Dislike. Yeah, disliking me is censoring me. That's exactly what I'm saying. Anyway, folks. How are we all doing? Today, we've got a few topics to go over. Mainly the ones we've mentioned in the title here. The day's going well. Okay, Lodal. Well was maybe a bit of a stretch there. I just had some breakfast, got out the shower. Now it's approaching midday. I feel like I've got so much to do today. I was going to make a few videos for Medium Rare instead, but I decided no. You know what? I'm not making videos. I'm just going to do a stream and get it all into the one thing. Takes me less time. And honestly, yeah, I'm being lazy. Instead of making like 3 videos, I'm just making this one stream, because then I can get other things done that I need to get done today. Anyway, the disliker is probably ad revenue, probably. Anyway, we're going to get into this. So, where should we start? Let's start with Chris Hansen. Why not? Let's start with good old Chris Hansen. So, over here. There we go. I didn't think that was going to work for a second there. I haven't used the software in a little while. So Chris Hansen posted this on his Twitter account saying, if you are wondering how certain YouTubers and their Twitter accounts are growing so quickly, engaging in targeted harassment and using platform manipulation to promote false narratives, read this. And so, basically here, Chris has linked this article about Russians again targeting Americans with disinformation, Facebook and Twitter. And okay, that's whatever that is. Okay, Russians are doing what they're doing. Okay, whatever. But what's strange here is that Chris is bringing this up in regards to YouTubers and their Twitter accounts. Chris is essentially insinuating here that certain YouTubers are colluding with Russia, are using Russian bot. Like what is? Are they Russian bots or something? Is that what Chris is trying to say here? This is really a bit strange that Chris would say this. I mean, who is he talking about here? Who is he talking about when he says certain Twitter accounts are growing so quickly? Probably people that disagree with him, people that criticize him, I would imagine, the likes of John Swan, the rest of the Goon Squad, you know the types. Good evening, Jess. Obviously, that's over in the place that doesn't exist, but yeah. So, yeah, how certain YouTubers and their Twitter accounts are growing so quickly. So basically, he's saying that these people are engaging in platform manipulation. So we have John Swan here saying, is he himself insinuating that myself and others are engaging in platform manipulation? We have Creepshow Art, who's probably another person he's speaking about here. I can barely communicate my thoughts and emotions in English. Never mind the fact that I'm complete dumbass. To assert that I'm even capable of Russian collusion is a stretch and a half. You washed up pair. Shout out to all my pairs. We have Repzilla here. Did Hansen just accuse his critics of being Russian spies? Like, this is really bizarre. What is Chris Hansen smoking these days? He just seems to be like going further and further off the deep end with what he's doing here. First, it seemed a little while back he was getting people banned from Twitter. And I mean, this kind of goes hand in hand with that. If you remember back, was it like a month ago? Maybe a little more than a month ago. I think I made a video about this as well. And it was about Chris Hansen seemed to have gotten John Swan, Josh Pescator, and a couple other people banned from Twitter. And the reason that, for example, John Swan was given that he was banned from Twitter was platform manipulation. And so it seems a little bit strange that now it pops up Chris Hansen's got this new tweet talking about platform manipulation again on Twitter, and that's a very specific thing to say, especially when you're talking about YouTubers. Platform manipulation, engaging in targeted harassment and using the platform to promote false narratives. It's just really bizarre that Chris would say this or bring this up. I can't wrap my head around what he's thinking here. this is like boomer tech. Like, that's the only thing I can use to explain this. Either he's being purposely disingenuous, which I wouldn't put past him. I wouldn't put it past him to just straight up lie about stuff like this, trying to smear and slander people. I wouldn't put that past him at this point. But I could also just as likely see it just being that he has no goddamn clue how any of this stuff works. How the social media game... He doesn't understand it. He really doesn't. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone like just said to him, "Oh, what? I've got this theory. What if this is happening?" And he's just gone with it or something and said, "Yeah, you know what? It's the Russians. The Russians are after me. The Russians are after Chris Hansen." So bizarre. Anyway, I'm done with Chris Hansen. That's all I wanted to say about Chris Hansen. Next, we're moving on. YouTuber Cr1tikal, channel name Penguins0. He's a big commentary channel on the platform, and he got a strike on his channel. So we'll read this tweet. "Was going to handle this privately, but it seems there is actually no human reviewing these things. The video that was taken down and put a strike on my channel is not even a real road rage incident and has no injury, blood, or anything, not even a fake blood or injury." And so if you look at this screenshot here, you can see down the bottom, he got a warning on August 28th, "Road Rager learns a hard lesson," and the policy was violated was violent or graphic content, appeal rejected. Now, I can't really say exactly what was in the video. I haven't watched the video. But from what I'm seeing around the place, it was not an actual violent or graphic content video. The video was very tame, and it was more of a funny thing, if anything, and I'll show you in a little minute. We're going to go to Markiplier here, who also made a video, and this was part of his Try Not to Laugh challenge. So obviously this was a funny video. It wasn't some sort of horrific incident or anything like that, like this strike would make out. And, you know, things like this happen all the time on YouTube. People get falsely struck. And normally what happens is you have an appeal, and the appeal goes through, and someone actually looks at the thing and thinks, okay, yeah, that was nonsense. That's not actually a legit strike. Let's revoke that. And if that happens, okay, fair game. You're gonna sort it. But it looks here that Charlie Cr1tikal, he's appealed, and down here you see appeal rejected. His appeal was rejected for this, and that is quite concerning when you consider that this video clearly would not have violated this sort of thing. I mean, Markiplier was doing this. Since when was Markiplier known for that sort of violent, horrible content? You can see a screenshot of this thing here. Who cares? It's a bunch of characters standing there on the road. Anyway. Next up, over here, he went on. YouTube responded, "Thanks for the screenshot. We'll pass this along so our team can take another look and update you when we know more. Appreciate your patience in the meantime." Confirming that a member of the team reviewed the video and the decision stands. Footage containing graphic content, fights, beatings, etc. with the intent to shock, violate our community guidelines. Since you're in touch with a partner manager, they'll be the best POC to answer cues you may have. Point of contact to answer questions, just in case you needed that. And so he has responded to this. That just confirmed no one watched the video. Everyone I've talked to at YouTube doesn't agree with this decision either. Would love a more thorough explanation for what actually goes on with these reviews. And then he linked this screenshot of Markiplier saying Markiplier also made a video laughing about the same fake road rage incident. When will he be getting his strike? Obviously no one should be in trouble for joking about what's clearly a staged video. I'd just like to know why only mine was deemed disturbing and shocking. And if you go over to Markiplier, he actually quoted this saying, "Fair is fair, YouTube. Where's my strike? Hashtag answer us, YouTube." And if you got more, Cr1tikal also responded to this, saying, "Really hoping YouTube doesn't strike Mark. It's obviously a silly decision in the first place, and I hope YouTube will do the right thing and recognize the strike was a mistake and get rid of it. Thank you, Mark. Your kindness will keep my dreams wet tonight." And so, obviously, again, this is concerning. This is not a real thing that should be getting struck down on YouTube. I've had issues like this. Lots of YouTubers have had similar issues where the flagging, the strike system has basically messed up their channel a little bit unjustly. I've had strikes that really were not, what's the word I'm looking for? Strikes that really were not viable. Why can't I think of the right word today? My brain's not working. You know what I'm trying to say. Strikes that weren't valid. Anyway, it's concerning, and hopefully YouTube gives us an answer to this eventually. Hello, Dan the Indoor Man. Glad to see you here. Next up, we are going over this. So, recently, Joe Rogan, if you're not aware, signed a deal with Spotify. It was a deal that was reported to be over $100 million to essentially bring his podcast to the Spotify platform, the biggest podcast in the world. Bring this to the Spotify platform as an exclusive distributor. So it would be taken from iTunes, it wouldn't be on YouTube anymore, it would be exclusively on Spotify. And my opinion of that was always, yeah, that's great. I think that's absolutely fine. Good on him for making lots of money, doing what he wants to do. So, obviously, I don't think there's an issue with that. Anyway, the issue now is that people are starting to report that as the podcast is being moved over to Spotify, all the archives are being uploaded onto the Spotify platform, some things seem to be missing. And so, Joe Rogan's podcast is moving exclusively to Spotify after signing a $100 million deal, and his fans are not happy about what episodes are being left behind during the transition. And if you look here, this is a screenshot of a Reddit post. And this is a full list of every missing episode from Spotify. I went through and cross-checked Spotify's full archive compared to the full list of every JRE. There's a lot of episodes missing. Look at the names and you'll see a clear pattern going on here. And so if you look down this list of episode names, you can see which guest episodes are not available on Spotify. And what you see here is the likes of Owen Smith, Tommy Chong, Alex Jones Returns, Michaela Peterson, Owen Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad, Gavin McGuinness, Eddie Bravo, Milo Yiannopoulos. If we go on, there are more here. Stefan Molyneux. We have Hickson Gracie, who isn't really a controversial name here. But yeah, these names go on and on. We've got Eddie Bravo again, Joey Diaz, which is a bit strange, because these are good friends of Joe Rogan. So obviously there's all these names that are missing. And what's concerning is the pattern here. Because pretty much all of these names, well, sorry, not all of these names, a lot of these names are controversial people, controversial figures. And that's one of the reasons people like the Joe Rogan podcast. They like the fact that Joe is someone who will sit down and speak to literally anyone for a few hours on his podcast. He'll speak to people on the far left, he speaks to people on the far right, he speaks to people who are centrists, he speaks to people of all different ideologies, including people that you might actually find despicable, or that Joe himself might actually think are despicable. He's happy to speak to pretty much anyone, and that's something that people really, really enjoy about his podcast. It's the fact that he is willing to sit down and speak to anyone. And people are concerned because of the fact that, for example, Alex Jones is missing. And this comes after Alex Jones and his podcast, for example. Why am I saying for example? This comes after Alex Jones was actually banned from places such as Spotify. He was banned from iTunes. He was banned from YouTube. InfoWars got banned from all these different places. And now, apparently, they're not allowed to be on the Joe Rogan podcast archives. You have other people as well in here, like Gavin McGuinness or Milo Yiannopoulos. These are people who are very, very controversial figures. Sargon of Akkad. These are people who are very controversial. Again, though, there are some people here who aren't so controversial. For example, there's Hickson Gracie up at the top, episode 524. He's a martial artist. So I don't see why that one would be included. So some of these names here are not so controversial, and there's not really any explanation as to why those episodes are also missing. But if we go over here, we have this little video from Alex Jones. Alex Jones has given this statement basically about what's happening here, because people were mainly concerned about this Alex Jones episode because people thought in general that this Alex Jones episode, Alex Jones Returns, was the best Joe Rogan podcast episode. Everyone loved that episode. So many memes came from it. Everyone was talking about it. And so, here we go. Spotify is not censoring me. Let's see what Alex has to say.
I've been mobbed by people the last 3 months. On the street, calling my phone, sending emails, saying, has Joe Rogan really moved to Austin, or is he moving to Austin? I will answer that question in just a moment. But first off, I had a lengthy discussion with Joe this morning, just a few minutes ago, because I had to call him in the middle of the night. Buzz, call. I get up at like 5 a.m., dozens of text messages and calls saying, is Spotify censoring the Joe Rogan podcast? And I didn't know until I talked to him this morning, and he explained it. They've got 1,500 plus files and then some migrating over, and they've had a few problems here and there with corrupted files, with the naming of them. And Spotify wants to have a first rollout and then a second rollout, and here's the key. Joe Rogan's favorite 100 episodes of the last 10 years or so will be left on YouTube starting December 31st when he goes exclusively to Spotify. For this couple month no man's land, the content will be on both platforms and will be migrating over. And so that's why the Alex Jones interview is not there. That's why some of the other interviews aren't there, because those are going to be the exclusive interviews that are left on YouTube, where in Joe's words, they'll probably get even more views than if they were on Spotify. So that's what.
So, obviously, that's Alex Jones trying to explain what Joe Rogan told him about this. But I'm not sure I think that's the greatest explanation. So he starts off saying about corrupted files. Do you not find it a little bit weird to think that, oh, why is it that these episodes are the ones that are corrupted? There's, like, sure, if just the Alex Jones one was corrupted, or just a couple of these other controversial ones were corrupted, along with a bunch of other non-controversial ones, if those were corrupted, then okay, yeah, I could understand, I could hear that explanation, I could say, yeah, that's fair. But the fact that all of these things, so for example, all the Alex Jones episodes, all of the Milo Yiannopoulos episodes, all of these specific people, all of their episodes are corrupted. That seems a little bit more than just a coincidence to me. However, maybe a little bit more understandable is the excuse, is the explanation of Joe Rogan leaving his 100 favourite episodes over on the other channel, on his YouTube channel. But as someone here on Reddit says, okay, so he's saying the 40 or so corrupted files out of 1,500 just happen to include every Alex Jones, Milo, and Gavin McInnes podcast. Immediately, that's a little bit strange. Also, Rogan's favourite 100 episodes don't include Elon Musk, Bernie Sanders, or Jordan Peterson. But they do include Milo, Gavin, Chris D'Elia, and Michaela Peterson. That doesn't make any sense. And to be fair, that doesn't make sense. Because, for example, there's Bernie Sanders, that episode, the Jordan Peterson's episodes, and Elon Musk's episodes. Those are all on Spotify right now. And especially the Elon Musk one, that was one of these episodes that really did go viral. That was a really good episode. Everyone seemed to love that. And it's really strange to think, why wouldn't that be one of Rogan's favourite episodes that would be left off of Spotify? So it's a little bit strange. And someone said, and he says here, the only podcast files that got corrupted between 700 and 950 in order: Milo Yiannopoulos, Gavin McInnes, Kip Anderson, Keegan Kunn, producers of Conspiracy, Milo Yiannopoulos, Alex Jones and Eddie Bravo, Gavin McInnes. So it is a little bit strange here. But at the same time, again, I don't know what to think, because if we go back to this actual list, there are some names here who aren't controversial at all. Some of these names here, it doesn't make any sense for them not to be featured. So I'm kind of mixed on this. I'm not sure what to think, if I'm honest. I don't know if it's really Spotify censoring, or if it's just a coincidence. It's hard to tell, because I see little bits and pieces that make me think both ways. I see some stuff here that makes me think, yeah, this has to be Spotify actually doing something and censoring here. But then I see other things that's like, okay, well, if that is the case, then why are these episodes also being censored when there's nothing wrong with these ones? So it is a little bit strange. Lodal is saying in the chat, Ad Revenue uploaded one of your unlisted videos to his channel. He's doing that again. Is he still doing that? I'll have to have another little conversation with ad reduction then, shan't I? Okay. Oh, we don't need this. This is for a video I'm recording later. I'm going to make a wine tier list for my other channel. I've actually gotten through these topics really fast. Anyone got anything else I should talk about, or you want me to talk about? Because I've gotten through these topics insanely fast. It's been 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I've gotten through everything I wanted to get through. I was going to make 3 videos today on these topics, but I've gotten through them in 20 minutes. I guess that probably means it was good I didn't make 3 videos, because I didn't really have 3 full videos worth of content. So it's probably better I just did this. Anyway, I'll probably wrap this up very soon then. Anyone got any thoughts on what's going on here? I'm actually... Oh, there we go. I said wine, Jess. I said wine. I'm making a wine tier list for my other channel. Ad revenue posted shut it fart boy video. Hey, I don't talk about ad revenue on this channel. That's for my other channel. This channel is for commentary. It's for drama. It's not for silly little things. Okay. Quick recap of Hansen, Russia. I'll go over it a little bit. If you really want to know more, you can check back in the video. But basically, the gist was Chris Hansen is on Twitter. And on Twitter, he is sharing an article basically insinuating that certain people on Twitter, certain people on YouTube, are Russian spies or Russian bots or colluding with Russia. And they are using platform manipulation and targeted harassment to grow their followings via colluding with Russia. So basically, Chris Hansen is on his Twitter saying that the likes of John Swan, Creepshow, the other people he calls the Goon Squad, he's basically saying that these people are Russian agents? Is that what he's saying? Let's go back to his Twitter and have a quick peek again at this tweet, just so you can see it. Because it is quite bizarre. Here we go. Right here. If you're wondering how certain YouTubers and their Twitter accounts are growing so quickly, engaging in targeted harassment and using platform manipulation to promote false narratives, read this. Russians again targeting Americans with disinformation, Facebook says. And so Chris is trying to say that certain YouTubers are doing this to grow their Twitter platform and their YouTube platform. And it's honestly so bizarre. Is he saying that YouTubers who disagree with him are basically colluding with the Russians? Like, what is Chris smoking? It is bizarre. What's wrong? What's wrong with Chris? Insane. Is it going to include Gossip Moscato? I don't know what Gossip Moscato is. The pink kind? Who drinks pink wine? You drink red wine, you drink white wine. And if you drink rosé wine, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I said it. Fight me. We'll see. After I finish recording this, after I finish this stream, I'm gonna go record my wine tier list over here at Tier Maker, and I'll put that up on my other YouTube channel. Right. Chris, are you saying your critics are Russian agents? Is that really the level we're at here? No, he isn't. The article is about a lot of fake information put out by the Russians that is being legitimized by influencers. An example of that would be the fake pedo list of Ghislaine Maxwell that was allegedly leaked. What does that have to do with the YouTubers and Twitter people that this person doesn't know what they're talking about? Wow, so not only did the Russians interfere with the election, but they are creating bots to either inflate a creator's page or intimidate and harass someone. Heard that narrative before and didn't believe it then. Either grow a set and take responsibility for your actions. Great article. Thanks for sharing, Chris. Is that Dr. Phil? Yeah, it is Dr. Phil. I thought that might have been a real person there, but it's not. It's Dr. Phil. Chris Hansen was a person who was interviewing Eastern victims, but now he's turned crazy. He feels he's important as the presidential election. Yeah, apparently. Chris Hansen thinks that his YouTube drama is up to par with, like, international politics. The Russians are so angry with Chris Hansen for some reason, so they're colluding to build up his haters and build up his criticizers so that they can all take him down or something. I have no clue what's going on, honestly. You know, I'm sad to end the stream. I'm going to have to end the stream now, because I've nothing else to talk about. I got through these topics far too fast. I just wanted to do a little stream to cover these things instead of make a video, because I've got other things I need to do. But yeah, it was nice quickly chatting with you all for a little bit. I keep spending so long in between videos on this channel. It's a bit of a piss take, I know. I need to post more regularly. I keep trying to do that, but every time I do, it's like, damn, ugh. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll hopefully be back very, very soon I say that, but it's probably going to be a week or two annoying me. Anyway, I'll be posting on my other channel anyway, in the meantime. Today I'm going to be posting a wine tier list, as I already said. It was a pleasure seeing you too, DarkyBooty32. And I wish you well in your warlodel. Goodbye, everyone.